happening in the current scenario also. So if you keep look at the history, pathology and the development of treatments, which is on record, but off the record treatments, off the record mortality rates are still a matter of concerns. And the most matter of concern is the mutation factor of these viruses, how they spread, and what kind of, at what particular duration of the year does it spread. For example, in a lot of studies, it was found that this particular virus is not as dangerous as it was earlier viruses, which had made a lot of hue and cry amongst the masses across the world, but it spreads more rapidly. So the infection rate is high, but the mortality rate is very low. Now, there are two things associated with regard to the sports persons. Since there is no certain data with regard to the pathogenesis or the spread of this coronavirus, or any pandemic for that matter, one fact is that there has not been any treatment found for any such virus before 1 to 2 years of time. So let us be rest assured that whatever the situation, current situation, or wherever it is leading us to, there will be no cure. And that is why probably WHO has been recommending since March 11, 2020, when it declared COVID-19 as a pandemic from March 11, 2020, they have been time and again saying that prevention is the best cure. Prevention is the best treatment. Now, from sports point of view, it is associated with the respiratory syndrome, right? We all know that it is highly transmittable viral infection, and it is closely associated with our respiratory system. So, but natural, this virus is going to impact all those sports events which are closely related to strength endurance, and that too the long distance running events or cycling events like pentathlon or decathlon or 100 kilometer races, and all those events, wherein there is a lot of strength endurance required, because it is upper respiratory tract infection. Besides, it also impacts our digestive system to a very great extent. Most of the cases, are associated with these two types of primary infections. And already we know that there are studies and there are theories which are present wherein oxidative stress is considered to be the main culprit amongst sports persons. Now, if we talk about the gender, females are already at the receiving end, with a lot of research that indicates that athletes tried amongst female athletes, especially those female athletes who are into high intensity interval training kind of exercises they are doing, like basketball, volleyball, and other kind of training regimens they follow, are more prone to the amenorrhea, the menarche, or the bone related disorders or eating disorders, which are more or less psychophysiological factors that impact the sports performance. And icing on the cake is that because of the coronavirus, the female athletes are the one who are impacted the most. I mean, it's not, I'm mincing the words. It is actually the data, the research data, that says that it is the females who are being impacted to a very great extent, because it is not just the body weight, it is the psychological factors also during the lockdown that play a very important role in the training of the sports persons. So the competition period, as we all know from periodization, is a very short time. Hardly the Olympic Games last for 16 days, right? And other Asian Games or other kind of championships, hardly 3 to 4 days or 8 days maximum, other than cricket. So any kind of power or endurance sport wherein you are preparing yourself, training yourself in an year for about 8 to 9 months, right? And then there is a transition period of 2 to 3 months. That too need to be spent mostly in active recovery. You all know that if you are not playing basketball, then you are of course participating in any such training or any such off-road programs or off-track programs that are primarily developing your strength, your endurance, your speed, your power. For example, those who are not into running, they are most of the time doing some kind of beach volleyball or other kind of associated reactive sports or any other kind of sports which are closely related to developing their strength, endurance, power, or long-term endurance. Treadmills and indoor gyms are not a solution, is not an alternative, a good alternative at least, for the highly conditioned athletes. So we must be very careful, especially this is for the exercise physiologists, to recommend and suggest that how a minimum level of endurance, how a minimum level of VO2 max can be maintained, so that whenever there is a we get freedom from this corona pandemic and the situation becomes normal, we all are into the streamlined process and we are able to pursue from wherever we have actually, stopped during the corona lockdown. Or at least, at least 6 months later, after you have, gone out and started training all out in swimming pools, or you are, able to reap the benefits out of those social gatherings because of big events like IPL or Indian Kabaddi leagues or Indian basketball leagues or other kind of leagues, we should be prepared with regard to certain, keeping in mind in the backdrop of all those protocols which are recommended by the government. For example, not sharing common toilets in the dressing rooms, in the restrooms, not shaking hands, not hugging each other, and also maintaining physical distance in the stadiums. These things are extremely important for us to follow, understand, in order to, keep up the temperament, the tempo for professional athletes at least. Now, as you must have seen, that the International Olympic Committee, along with the Japanese governments, on 30th March 2020, they announced that Tokyo Olympics will be rescheduled in July 2021, which we are going to witness anytime soon. Probably from 27th of July, it's going to be Olympics, and after that, it is going to be Paralympics. From Paralympics, let me add one more thing, that it is the para athletes also who are at the much more receiving end. So it is the female athletes, it is the children, who are involved into all kind of recreational sports, and the para athletes who are much more, and also the endurance athletes. Because see, no matter how much meditation and yoga you do, unless and until you go and slug it out on the field, you won't be able to perform up to that level. So all those outdoor games and sports are going to take a big hit. And how do we prepare ourselves in the backdrop of the protocols to be followed in the near future, at least for another 6 months or 8 months? Whatever yearly calendar we have, we need to follow that also. It's going to be a very big challenge. And if we talk about the pathology of this particular, the symptoms or the spread of coronavirus, you must have seen that there are people who are 90-year-old with all kind of comorbidities, and they are very actively participating in sports, have died. Whereas on the other hand, you will find a lot of examples. I mean, people with a lot of comorbidities, they had their oxygen level drop down, SpO2 level to 75 and 65, and because of some kind of conventional or non-conventional treatments, they have recovered fully. So there is no what you call uniformity with regard to the treatment, and even to the prevention. In a family of sports persons whom I know, two people who are physically very active, they suffered for 15 days. I mean, their body temperature was more than 101, 102 at all the times. Whereas the parents who were earlier sports persons, but now they were leading a fairly active life, I mean, the coronavirus didn't even touch them. There are many such examples wherein the researchers are also confused with regard to the transmission of this particular virus. Earlier, it used to be that this virus is spread through droplets, right? Later on, the theory was changed. Okay, no, actually, this spreads through air. Then there was one theory where people said the cause is zoonotic. For example, from China itself, because Chinese eat lot of meat. That is why from this meat, from these animals, this has spread to the humans. That is called zoonotic cause. Now later on, this theory was also changed. Then came that let us use some antibacterials, right? Antibodies should be produced inside the body if we give support through by giving the medications which are for basically bacteria, but this is a virus. It has got altogether a different genomics. It has got a different altogether a different pathology. The pathology is that it actually does not attack, this particular coronavirus does not attack even the DNA. It is more of the ribonucleic acid. It is associated primarily with RNA, and RNA mutation occurs very fast. The pathology is altogether different. The pathogens are very different. So this particular non-harmonious theories, and then a lot of U-turns by the so-called authoritative agencies, and then there are certain blames that no epidemiologists and no endocrinologists were involved, whereas the aftermath of this particular virus is that people were suffering from heart attack. So they were not actually dying of respiratory disorders, but of heart attack. Now, in case of sports person, if we talk, in case of sports, in endurance sports, of course, when you are participating in the high intensity sports like endurance running or triathletes, there is oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is something, if we understand the physiology of oxidative stress, whenever the free radical mechanism in the body and the production of antibodies is disbalanced, right? Whenever there is an imbalance between the production of free radicals and the supporting and the opposite of that, then only the oxidative stress occurs. Now, free radicals are essential to improve the immunity of sports persons. So, technically speaking, a sports person should be very less prone to this particular virus. But the other theory says that whenever you do high intensity exercise or endurance exercises, you are more prone to getting more and more stress, oxidative stress. At least for after you have stopped the high intensity exercise, you are supposed to be prone till 72 hours for getting these upper respiratory tract infections. Then why people are dying because of digestive disorders? Why people died because of the heart attacks? Because see, an athlete's heart is the best heart. I mean, he's a good athlete, endurance athlete would be having as low as 45 beats per minute of heart rate. We should not be getting infections, a lot of infections in the lung infections at all. So all these kind of misinformation which is spread through social media, and all these kind of infection related U-turns by the so-called bodies, and our knowledge which is very limited to the immunity, it has also exposed our that we don't know much about the immunity response of the athletes, sports persons. Yes, but one thing is there, that given everything, all the pathologies, all the pathogens, physiology or whatever way it is transmitted, prevention is still the best bet. So let us try to understand that how we can minimize these particular loads. So there are certain open windows which we need to be very careful. For example, immediately after the exercise, when the window is open, let us not expose ourselves to extreme cold climates, because it is an upper respiratory tract and also gastrointestinal infections are there. So we need to wash our hands quite often, right? And 6 times more likely in the endurance races. So why is it not possible that we just do not organize these endurance races for some more time? Why can't we organize the sports which are more viable during this particular period? For example, the individual sports, wherein the non-contact sports, wherein there are very less chances and there are very high chances of controlling the sports participation. And number 2, let us give our ecology some chance. Why is it that our soil, our air and our water is always contaminated? We have never ever thought about that before this pandemic. Now we must be very careful that ecology is not only important for people who are not suffering from any disease, but also for the sports persons. Because of these aerosols or because of these particles, because of this extreme industrialization as a result of sports events. See, can you imagine whenever these Olympic level or Commonwealth level sports are organized, the jungles, the trees are cut and we are building high-rise buildings. We are developing high-rise buildings in the name of development, in the name of Olympic Games organizations. We are compromising our ecology. And number two, our habits. Why we are not following, especially among the young sports persons, I have seen there are unhygienic habits which they are following. For example, it's not just the virus which is deadly, it is the intake of certain nutritional supplements which is going to supplement this problem and complement. And the third impact is that when you are actually not training, your highest of your maximum of endurance or maximum strength will come down. Now, an athlete who is suffered from coronavirus, for example, and he is bedridden for 10 days, and then he is not able to resume his activity for another 6 months, there will be a burnout syndrome. How many athletes we are going to lose because of burnout, because of coronavirus lockdown? And fourth is because of these psychological factors, there is inadequate sleep pattern. So nobody is actually bothered about these individual problems amongst these sports persons. For general population, yes. For medical doctors, after you have recovered even incompletely, you will be able to resume your day-to-day activities. But what about the sports person? If the sports person doesn't regain his or her 100% performance before this pandemic performance, he won't be able to do justice to his event. He won't be able to win medals, because ultimately sports is what? Sports means if you perform and you win medals, then only you are at the helm of the affairs. Otherwise, you may be doing your level best. So it is the Olympics, it is the Commonwealth Games performance which is more ecological in approach, which must be ecological in approach, and we must try our level best to support certain sports which we must shortlist, so that before this entire pandemic related protocols are out of fashion, before we even stop wearing the masks, because you cannot perform by wearing masks. As per the protocol, you should always be following these protocols. So a lot of researchers have shown that the exercise physiologists are working very hard day in day out to how an athlete is actually given the vaccination. After the vaccination certificate, which has been made mandatory, the athlete goes, and if he has what he has taken, that also is important. Whether you have taken Pfizer, is it more effective than Covaxin? Is it more effective than the other kind of Sputnik and other kind of this thing? Which particular vaccination is suitable for athletes? Even that is not known. So we are living, let me cut it short and let me conclude that actually we are living in a state of totally uncertainty. However, we must, as a sports person, not lose our heart and do our best to prevent this disease by following the protocols which are given by the government, and also have a positive state of mind. Right now, it is more of a mental issue rather than a physical or physiological issue. So thank you very much again, and I hope that I have not exceeded the time limit. If there are any queries, you are most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vikram sir. Now I'd like to welcome our second guest speaker, that Dr. Nama Ashish Prem Singh. He is Associate Professor at Motilal Nehru College, Delhi University, NIS Diploma in Basketball, Director Venue and Development, Commonwealth Games, our Director Sports, South Asia Games. Dr. Nama Ashish sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pallav. Can you listen to me, please? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you. Vikram sir, Dr. Vikram has already spoken in details about the pathology of this virus. Now, what I'm going to speak is a little bit different from the pathology and the performance part of it. I'm talking about evolution of new sports. Now, this pandemic has caused a situation wherein the sports administrators, the organizers, they're finding a way out to develop new sports. So the first stress will be on the evolution part. Now let me give you an example.
डॉक्टर साहब
The
सॉरी
Olympic
आप टेढ़े दिखाई दे रहे हैं, कैमरा थोड़ा टेढ़ा लग रहा है.
टेढ़ा लग रहा है. I mean, बिल्कुल टेढ़ा है या
Sir,
shall I do it
90
हाँ.
degree, 90 degree.
90 degree tilt कर दो इसको. Okay, I'll do 90 degree tilt. So in the meantime, is it okay now?
yes, sir. Yeah.
Right, thank you. So the Tokyo Olympics are from 23rd of July, we all know, and our team is already preparing. There are 114 athletes who have already qualified. But let me come to the other part of it, which I was telling you, the evolution part of it. The evolution of new sports. The International Olympic Committee, along with the organizing committee of the Olympic Games Tokyo 2021, they have come with Olympic virtual series. Now, this Olympic virtual series was from 13th of May to 23rd of June. In this, they introduced 4-5 sports, like take for example, sailing, surfing, motorsports, and one or two more. So now this virtual part of it, the participation in virtual sport has come into existence. So may not be in 2024 Olympics or 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, might be in 32. Like, let me give you an example. People were against the use of television when the television first came into. They said that this will induce less physical activity. But then every one of us has. Now we cannot survive without it. Then came mobiles. So similarly, as far as this pandemic is concerned, evolution of new sports have come into existence. And many of my students, because we do go to the playfield every day and we talk to the people, and whatever I'm speaking is not based on any kind of research. It is based on my experiences while going to the playground, to the stadiums, talking to the athletes. Many of the students, those who are not active sportsmen, have joined into virtual sports. So they are now playing games which would be definitely in the Olympics after say 10 or 15 years from now. So this is one of the effect of this pandemic, how it has affected sports. Second thing, which I'm organization part. Now, they have their protocols. So take for example, if I'm an athlete and I know that my competition date is on 5th of August. All right, and we already the athlete receives the protocol as when he should be vaccinated, what his vaccination should be, and in case he's suffering from any suffering from any kind of infection, then there is an which the athlete has to mention. It is called TUE, therapeutic use exemption. So if I'm suffering from cough or cold, I will give a written TUE that these are the medicines which I'll be taking. So the organizers, they come to know, the doping department, they know that, okay, this athlete is taking this medication. So why I'm talking all this is because many of the athletes, they get stuck into doping, even if they haven't done something. Now take for example, who knows the Covishield or Sputniks or whatever, as Dr. Vikram sir mentioned, the different vaccines which have come. Who knows one of these vaccines may fall under a doping category, because up till now there is no research as such that which these vaccines do not fall under doping, but you never know the reaction of it. So the first part which I spoke on is the evolution of new sports. Many new sports are going to come up because of this pandemic. Second is the protocol, like what athlete has to follow and what will be its effect. Now, third thing which I'm talking about is the classification. One is elite athlete, one is intermediate, say take for example, who have played national or state, and one is a beginner or a novice. This pandemic has caused online classes system. Sometimes the class is at 8 o'clock in the morning, sometimes it's at 5 or 6 in the evening. Now, in case if this is the spread of the classes online, then where is the time for the novice or the young athletes to study? So whenever I go to ground, sometimes I find many of the athletes, they switch on to their classes, they mark themselves present, and they start training. And half of their mind is in, oh, I have to take classes. There may be a question put up by my teacher. So this is one detrimental effect of this pandemic. Most of this Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports and the MHRD has to sit together to find a way out, because it will be taking up much of a time of a young athlete who is a student, a college student, a school student. So this is one part. The doping part I have spoken. I have spoken about evolution of the new sports that are going to come up. The third part, the last and the part which I would like to stress upon more, the elite athletes, which means those who are professional athletes, Olympic level athletes, they know how to manage stress induced because of this pandemic or any other thing. At times they compete. Now the things are different, but at times when they compete, there are 60,000, 70,000 spectators around the stadium. There's a lot of media talks about them before they go to the stadium. There's a lot many expectation from their fans. So this part, most of the elite athletes, they handle very well, because they know that these comments would be coming. And similarly, the periodization part, Dr. Vikram sir spoke very nicely about it. So these elite athletes, they take care of it. They periodize themselves, that even if they have that 15 days of rest, they can still participate. And regarding the training, nowadays what is happening is most of the elite athletes, they get backup from the government. Now take for example, please listen to this carefully. There's one medal hope, and I'm very confident, I'm 100% sure that he'll get a medal in Olympics on 24th of July. His name is Saurabh Chaudhary, shooting. Now, this guy had set up a shooting range in his house. In the house itself, the Sports Authority of India, along with Target Olympic Podium Scheme, they built a shooting range, 10-meter air pistol, which is his event, in his house, in his village. Similarly, I found many of the athletes from United States, Japan, so they have their own practice arena. But please listen to Dr. Vikram sir very carefully. What he spoke is that it has a limited scope. He stressed upon it that working alone that doesn't allow you to come to a full, because you have to participate in many competitions. You have to, face the competition. So that thing has affected the training that way. All right. So these are the part. One is competition part. Competition part, athletes handle very well, and most of the elite athletes in Olympics, they know it. They have their managers, their coaches in place, so they periodize themselves accordingly. Training, it's definitely getting affected a bit. However, most of the elite athletes, they found a way out for it. And the first part which I spoke about is evolution of new sports. Now, this pandemic is going to affect our country, India, the most, in case if we are not aware or if we do not keep ourselves updated about the new sports that are coming. There are 4 new sports that are in Olympics this year: surfing, climbing, then there's karate, and there's skateboarding. There's 3-on-3 basketball event, baseball, softball, of course. So now these are the new sport which has come into existence in this Olympics, which is going to affect the medal tally of a country. So medal tally is going to be affected by the sports that get into it. So this pandemic is going to affect India a lot. However, one good news is that the maximum number of esports players are from our country, India. So in case if esports gets into Olympics in 2032, we have good scope of improving in our medal tally. Well, that's on the lighter side. So this is what I would like to brief upon. One is evolution. One is the protocol that elite athletes follow, the competition, training, organization, and overall, we humans, we find the way out. So in case all those 114 athletes from India, those who are going to participate in Tokyo, well, their coaches, their trainers, their management people have almost finished all the protocol, and they'll be under peak. Most of them are still participating in World Championship, World Cups, to 1 or 2 days ago, and many of them are holding back to perform well in Olympics. So these are the strategies that elite athletes do to get medals in Olympics. Thank you so much. If there's any question, please.
Thank you so much, Namaste, sir. Now I'd like to welcome Dr. Yaswant Singh. He is NIS diploma in basketball, 20 international judges published, in charge of physical education, yoga, sports in Lala Lajpat University in veterinary and animal sciences, Hisar, Haryana.
Good evening, sir. Dr. Yashwant. So, yeah, senior fellow. बधाई दिया है कि मेरा सिर्फ डायरेक्टली एक है कि जो टॉपिक वाला हाउ पैंडेमिक इम्पैक्टेड ऑन इंडिया आई एम वर्किंग लाजपत राय में यहाँ बच्चे वो जो अकाउंट तो हमारे यहाँ ऑलरेडी
Dr. Yashwant, your voice is not audible.
Hello. Now check. Hello.
Now it's audible.
My coming to the point for topic is how impact on sports India. In Lala Lajpat University of Veterinary में जो हैं वो मोस्टली प्लेयर्स हैं जो बास्केटबॉल मोस्टली मेरे पास नेशनल एथलीट हैं. जब से पैंडेमिक देख रहा हूँ कि कोई हमारा साल चला गया हमारा कोई भी ऐसा एक्टिविटी हुआ है इंडिया की तरफ से हमारा सेंट्रल हर साल हमारे यहाँ पे प्रैक्टिस करते हैं.
Dear sir, your voice is not clear.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, Yaswant sir, I think there is a network issue. I suggest you, sir, kindly rejoin the meeting, sir.
Sir, I'm audible. Hello.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, Dr. Yashwant, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
द टॉपिक इज हाउ पैंडेमिक इम्पैक्टेड ऑन स्पोर्ट्स इन इंडिया। तो मैं आपको ये बताना चाह रहा था कि जो डायरेक्टली मेरे को इम्पैक्टेड, जो मेरी यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर जो हुआ कि मेरे यहाँ मोस्टली जो बच्चे हैं वो इंटरनेशनल हैं, रेसलिंग के, बॉक्सिंग के, एथलेटिक्स के। जब से स्टार्ट हुआ है तब से एक दिन भी हमारी ट्रेनिंग नहीं हुई है। स्पेशली हमारा जो टीम इवेंट है उनका तो हुआ ही नहीं है। और जो जितने भी इंटरनेशनल एथलीट्स जो हमारे हैं, बॉक्सर्स हैं, रेसलर्स हैं, वो इतने रेस्टलेस हो गए हैं। वो इंडिविजुअल प्रैक्टिस तो कर पा रहे हैं, पर उनको सबसे बड़ी जो प्रॉब्लम आ रही है वो ये हो रही है कि वो ग्रुप में एक्टिविटी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। उसका इफेक्ट जो भी अभी रिसेंटली जो जूनियर इंडिया चैंपियनशिप हुई थी रेसलिंग की, बॉक्सिंग की, उनके अंदर उनका वो अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आ पाया जो जो परफॉर्मेंस नॉर्मली उनका रहता है। तो जो इसमें
I think we lost Jason sir due to bad connection. So without wasting the time, now I'd like to welcome Miss Siva Megan ma'am. Siva Megan ma'am is an Indian basketball player who had played for the Indian national team. She is currently the coach for the Indian senior women's team as well as international referee. She was one of the first women to qualify as a referee. Ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
First of all, it's a great opportunity to be speaking among great dignitaries like Mr. Vikram, Nama sir, and Yashwant. And I'm glad and I'm thankful to Sharda University for giving me a platform to share my views. I did not prepare, I thought it's a question and answer. So I thought, you'll be asking me questions and I'll be replying. So I do not have any research, but from my experience, I'll share to what I have experienced in the past 1.5 years on my court through my trainees. So it is, I would say, as Nama sir has said, that it has a positive and a negative impact. So I agree with that. Negative because we didn't get much time to train together on the court. And I would straight away come to the point of the athlete mind. You know, each year we have different categories of nationals, youth nationals, sub-junior nationals, junior nationals. And we all have seen that all these national championships have got cancelled. So most of our athletes, who were on the borderline, like someone who was 16 and was expecting to play India, someone who was 18 and expecting to get a medal in the junior national and then get a job, it's all lost for them. So that is how athletes have not gained much out of it. But yes, positive side is that they have become, as Vikram sir was saying, that athletes are mostly not very hygienic. But I think pandemic has taught all of us to stay hygienic, and I see that on court when I go, because in between when there was relaxation, so we had training, and I saw all my athletes, so hygienic, carrying their towels, carrying sanitizers, and being very careful about their health. So yes, pandemic has taught us good things about health. And talking about the virtual training, see, I don't wanted to break my training in between. So I think it became a challenge for coaches like us as well to continue the training and find, ways and means and improve our innovative ways to help athletes to continue to train, because it's very difficult, to keep them indoors in their house and then continue to train. And so it was very challenging for me initially, and then slowly and slowly I also started improving my ways, and it has helped my athletes. Of course, group training you cannot do, but individually right now the players, I would say that I have been collecting data of my players. I have these 10 players who have been training with me for the past 1.5 year, and with their data I've seen how what did work for them and what did not work for them. And as Nama sir said that virtual games are coming, virtual sports are coming. So I would agree to it, and I would also say that for basketball, for team sports like us, we have also found ways to train our players to continue to motivate them and help them to grow. And at the elite level, I would say it has impacted not only, sports is kind of it actually brings leaders, it brings economy with all the tourism it brings. Like in Japan, we were talking about Olympics is going to happen in Japan, but this year it's not going to be very big because they won't get that huge spectators tickets and all. So economy is definitely impacted. हमारे जो फेडरेशंस हैं जिनको इतने स्पॉन्सर्स मिलते हैं, जो अपनी स्पोर्ट्स को ग्रो करते हैं, कहीं ना कहीं वो इन सब चीज़ों से इम्पैक्ट हो गया है. और बट एज विक्रम सर सेड एंड नामा सर सेड दैट federations are finding ways कि किस तरीके से इससे बाहर निकला जा सके, because this is not just one person problem, but it is a problem for the whole world. And as Vikram sir has covered the pathology about it, कि we're not sure कि what is going to work for us, what is not going to work for us, what is right. जो भी है सब social media पे है. लोग इतने ज़्यादा active हो गए हैं news में कि sometimes lot of wrong news are also spread. So this has impacted a lot. And I would share a story of my players. Like, there's this 11-year-old kid. So he trains with me, and 15 days back he stopped training. He said, I'm tired. He told his dad, I'm tired of online training. And this is, इस जनरेशन में जो छोटे बच्चे हैं, आप उनको कोर्ट के ऊपर एक बॉल दें तो वो उससे, और रिंग दें उससे, वो बहुत ज्यादा मोटिवेट होते हैं. But you tell them to train online, it's very difficult to keep them motivated for a very long time. So I don't know how long we can actually survive with the youngsters, with to actually motivate them to play. इसका जो नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट ये आ रहा है कि जो छोटे बच्चे हैं, दे आर गेटिंग मोर इनटू मोबाइल गेम्स, they are getting more into video games, gluing to it, and losing somewhere their skill. जो एक we talk about that bar where the players have age block कि इसमें skills improve करेंगे, इसमें agility, this वो उनका वो जा रहा है. तो उसकी वजह से I think this is a bad time for athletes who are actually beginners, क्योंकि उनके पास कोई मोटिवेशन का लेवल नहीं है. They really don't know कि पहले तो उनको they see their friends and they go to the court. लेकिन अभी कोई भी ग्राउंड पे नहीं जा रहा है, तो it becomes really parents. पहले पेरेंट्स बोलते थे कि बच्चे जो है कैरियर नहीं है, स्पोर्ट्स मत करो. लेकिन अभी उनके लिए प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है कि बच्चों कुछ करो, do something, because sitting at home you are becoming very dull. For example, I have my friend Asha, her daughter Drisha. She is 6 years old now, and she was very, very active, jumping around, trying to play. And in between, और उसकी जैसे as Nama sir said that you have online, छोटे बच्चों को क्या पढ़ाओगे, and you keep giving them homework, keep giving them classes. वो ऐसे बस देखते रहते हैं कि अभी क्या पढ़ाएंगे. And this girl was a topper in the class, and slowly she started coming down. उसकी activities नीचे होती जा रही है. So it's becoming a challenge for us कि 7-8-year-old kid के बच्चे को कैसे हम इस चीज में मोटिवेट करें कि how they can continue into the activity or start the activity, sports activity. Because ultimately sports activity, I believe that it is just not that you're going to get a career out of it, but I believe that sports actually helps you to have different life skills to grow in life. In later in your life, sports only helps you to be a good expresser yourself. आपका confidence level high करता है. आप अपने nation को जब represent करते हैं, you are so highly motivated that you go in any other field except after sports, you do really well there. Like you see all these. Nama sir was a good athlete. Today he is a doctor over there. I look at Puneet. Puneet was a student long back. I remember when I coached him in SRCC, not SRCC, KMC college. And now he's sitting there as a coordinator. So this is how sports brings evolution into the athletes. And this 1.5 year has been very bad on those individual athletes who have lost their jobs because they didn't get their medals as they expected. A lot of players who actually, we say that youth junior India is a bracket where 16 to 18 is 15 to 18 is a bracket where you actually choose the player who's going to end up in the senior team. But a lot of players have lost this opportunity, and we can't make it out for them. So that is how I would say it has impacted negatively, but positively, as I said, that you find the, I would say, the grit, the zeal to continue, and you as a coach will find real athletes who would actually still continue the virtual training with you, and you'll see the improvement into them. And it has again, challenged coaches like me to still grow the sport irrespective of sitting indoor and continuing to train them. So that is how I will conclude with my experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Nice. Yes, sir, are you there in the meeting? Yes, sir. Any of one want to ask any question? Please ask. Please unmute
Yes, sir.
yourself and ask question if anyone wants to ask.
Uh, Sir, I would ask like ma'am that
Yes,
if this is
Himanshu.
a good time to resume any sports activities. Like we haven't gone outside for a very long time. Sir, we haven't been out for a very long time. So is it a good time to resume our sports activities? Hello.
Is this question for me?
Yes, ma'am. And like you said
Yes,
that sports activities are
yes,
obviously
yes.
good.
I think, see, I would say that no time is bad to resume your sports back. And I continue my activity, my sports activity. There is a difference in good players and great players. That's what I always tell my players. A good player and a great player. What is the difference between two is a great player is always in shape. He is highly fit, conditioned. So if you look at this time where you don't have a lot of pressure on you right now for the performance, there is no tournament coming up. So you can work on all your weaknesses that you possess in your game and step by step work on it without any pressure of performing on them right now. Secondly, you can take your fitness, your conditioning, game conditioning, and your normal physical fitness as high as you can. This will help, your skills, what you have learned will always remain with you. It will never go. And your fitness will take them higher and higher. That's how you reach at your elite level. So I would say that yes, continue and resume your sports activity even at, that's what I always, tell my athletes, and that's what we have been doing right now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone want to ask any question?
Anybody can ask the question now. They have to just unmute themselves and ask the question.
Ma'am, I would like to ask that there would be some protocols that would be followed later also, like if, considering the pandemic in sports.
Yes, definitely, beta. As long as we can't find a proper treatment, a sure shot treatment, we definitely have to have our own protocols plus the protocols given by the government and set up by your federation. You should follow them. Most of it is it as long as since it's a team sports. I don't know, you play a team sport or a individual sports. If you play individual sports, then it is good for you. More difficulty it is for the team sports because they can't have that group training and group competition right now. But for sure, even after the pandemic, I think this is gonna help you or learn new things about how you can safeguard your health. Because as we say that nutrition, health, and physical activity, If you have all three things and your skills, four skills, all of these things packed, you will definitely reach at the.
Thank you, ma'am. And ma'am, also there is news that for frontline workers there will be 3 doses of vaccination. So would there be some planning for the sports, like sportsmate also, those who are playing sports around or something like that?
I can't really say, beta, because there is no data. As Dr. Vikram said, that there is no data that is being shared for the sports people. It's just a general category that they have been sharing. So as long as it comes through the government, because they are the one who's going to decide it, what is good, they have to have research. What kind of finally, when something works, they have to finally decide on what is good for the sports people as well. But I don't think so. Anyone is right now thinking about particularly about sports. But let's see what they decide and how it comes to.
Thank you.
Let me add to that. Actually, genome sequencing is going on, and it is not going to be difficult to contain this virus, but the threat will be more from black fungus and white fungus in the near future. Number one. Number two, in a recent study in the Hong Kong region, they have found that there are certain unhygienic practices by the sports person during sports events, which put them at high risk of virus transmission. Right? For example, the highest contact is that for 19 minutes during a particular game, there was a very close contact. The close contact which was not desirable amongst the sports persons while participating on court. Number one. Number two, most dangerous thing was that most of the time, at least for 10 to 15 minutes, they were touching their mouth. And then next is touching eyes, touching nose. And then the least was spitting. So we have to be very careful about all these things.
Anyone else? If you want to ask anything.
Puneet, can I speak something, please?
Sure.
As Dr. Vikram sir just now spoke about few habits, and I would like to ask the queen of Indian basketball, Shiba. She's there. I mean, you also know that she captained India for quite a long time, and you meetings as far as technical official. Can there be introduction of rule like what Vikram sir said? Many times, especially in soccer, we find people or touching their mouth. Or can this be covered under officiating part of it? Or you got my point? That if someone does it, it may be
Yeah.
considered as a foul.
I think FIBA, because I heard they were also trying to introduce 3-on-3 to have players on the are actually thinking about it, that how they can actually this contact, not how the game. Discussions about having 3-on-3 full court for less duration of time. And I'm sure someone like as you've asked me, someone like you must be there on the FIBA official panel also thinking about that, how we can control the players not touching their face, because ultimately sir sweat to aata hai while you're playing, and as a player I used to always wipe my face like this, not with my hand, but we definitely, most of our players, they are wiping their face with their banyans. So if FIBA introduces something like this, then the players will definitely follow it. They will have to follow it because they don't have any other ultimate. कोई option नहीं रहेगा. Did I answer you, Nunama sir? Did you get my answer?
Yeah, I got it, Shiva. I would love to listen Binti. I think she's online.
Anyone else want to ask any question?
चलिए और किसी क्वेश्चन नहीं है.
Good evening, sir.
Anyone want to ask?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My question is for Vikram sir, Nama sir, and Shiba ma'am. That I also working in a residential school as a physical education teacher. So our school started like in Jan 2021. For 3 months, we continue the activities 9 to plus 2. So during these 3 months, like we organize the physical activity in 3 times in a day. 9 10th plus 1 plus 2 we divide the sections, timing also divided in the whole day, like in the morning only for 9th and 10th, then in the evening plus 1 and plus 2. But what I saw, that situation, if situation remains same of the pandemic, like some protocol we have to follow, like social distancing, or especially we are suggested by the management that you have to organize the individual games, like they can do running, they can do exercise with social distancing. Somewhere what I saw, that situation is pulling the like interest of the people toward the individual game in future, sir. Like people will avoid to play team games, because Shiba ma'am also said that we touch our nose cause of that over sweating or some other social distancing rules we avoid during the team games. So somewhere this situation remains same, then it will pull the whole circumstance plus interest of the people, like those want to send their kids in the games and sports. If they are interested, say they suggest them to the like individual sports, like athletics events are there, field events are there. They will not suggest for them to the team games. क्यों ऐसा हो सकता है, like in future if situation remains same? Because there is till now there is no permanent solution. Vaccination is, I think it is for 6 8 month solution, but we cannot say it is a permanent solution. So I want your views about this. I would like to know your views, Shiva ma'am, Nama sir, and Vikram sir.
आपका I think तो स्पॉट पे पोल हो
Excuse me.
Audio issues.
Voice is not audible, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
कि आपका क्वेश्चन बिल्कुल सही है. अगर यही सिचुएशन चलती रही तो it will become difficult. So definitely the mother bodies, the parent bodies of all the sports, team sports, they'll have to think about bringing a few changes into their sports so that they can continue to exist. और उसके अलावा जो आप कह रहे हैं कि डिफिकल्टी आती है, तो जैसे हमने भी ग्राउंड पे ट्रेनिंग किया था जब, सो यू नो rather than having contact, we had our, we call resources. हम बोलते हैं कि डिफेंस में आपको what kind of resources can you use? So I made a proper defensive banda, बिल्कुल proper. I designed it, I got it made, and it is on the court. So my players still had that competition, finding that the defense is there. So you as a trainer somewhere has to find ways कि आप अपने टीम स्पॉट्स को कैसे आप कंटिन्यू कर सकते हो ट्रेन करने के लिए. क्योंकि अगर आप यही सोचते रहे कि ये कंटिन्यू होता रहेगा पैंडेमिक, तो हमारा तो जो है वो डल होता जाएगा. लेट मी टेल यू, आई स्टार्टेड विद 10 players last year training online, and the same players went with me on the court, and they're still training with me online now because we're still back to the same situation. So what did I achieve? I achieved that मेरा जो ट्रेनिंग का सिस्टम था, आई कंप्लीटली चेंज्ड इट. I had to explore, I had to brainstorm how I can continue. So it is a challenge for you to as well कि आप कैसे कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं अपने टीम स्पोर्ट्स को, rather than saying कि जो पेरेंट्स है वो इंडिविजुअल स्पोर्ट्स में. डेफिनेटली जो हमारे पेरेंट्स हैं वो इस चीज को लेके तो डरेंगे ही, बट आई थिंक वो सभी स्पोर्ट्स को लेके डरेंगे, वो एक ही स्पोर्ट्स को लेके नहीं, मतलब 3 स्पोर्ट्स को लेके नहीं डरेंगे, वो इंडिविजुअल स्पोर्ट्स के लिए भी उतने ही रहेंगे, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली इंडिविजुअल स्पोर्ट्स भी जब कई बार पार्टिसिपेट करने जाएगा, दे गो एज देयर एज यू नो अ टीम, और वहां पर पूरे 10 प्लेयर कंटिन्यू कर रहे होंगे कंपटीशन के अंदर, देन देयर इट डजंट बिकम, देयर आर वॉलंटियर्स देयर आर ऑर्गेनाइजर्स देयर, सो इट बिकम्स अ ग्रुप ओवर देयर ऑन. सो ये सिचुएशन सबके लिए है, बट आई थिंक if you are a physical, as you said, you're a physical education teacher, so you have to find a way how you can continue your players, like how I found a way कि मैं अगर मेरे प्लेयर्स के सामने खुद जाके डिफेंस नहीं कर सकती हूँ या दूसरा प्लेयर नहीं कर सकता है, तो हाउ आई कैन कंटिन्यू दैट कंपटीशन लेवल. द अल्टीमेटली व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन ग्रुप ट्रेनिंग होती है, तो उसमें कंपटीशन बढ़ता है, तो आपको कुछ एक्सटेंट तक, आप फुली तो नहीं ले जा सकते, बट कुछ एक्सटेंट तक यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट द वे सो दैट द प्लेयर्स स्टार्ट getting that connection from it. Rest I think Vikram sir and Nama sir can add to it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nama sir, Vikram sir.
Okay, let me tell you, let me add something to what Shiba ma'am spoke right now. See, whenever we are introduced to a sport, there are many verticals or parameters that define a sport. Take for example, basketball. Let us take an example of basketball. Shiba ma'am is there. You have a team strategy. You have an individual strategy. You have your individual technique. You have a team technique. You have your physical parameters, speed, strength, endurance, explosive strength, whatever. So these are the verticals. Now take for example, if an athlete is injured, his knee is injured or ankle is injured, what does he do? He still continues with the training. Listen to what Shiba ma'am said, a good athlete and a great athlete. So even if there is a pandemic, we can still continue training. Now what happens is, when there is an injury, we still try to cover all, there are so many parameters in sports, you know. So if there is a lockdown for 3 months, take for example, and your teaching and coaching is hampered, although you said that आपने बहुत अच्छा रास्ता निकाला है उसका, कि आपने टाइम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दिया है, और आप फिर भी उस पेंडेमिक के टाइम भी आप ये करते हैं टाइम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करके. So the point which I stick on to, I listen to this girl Shiba very carefully, and she speaks out practically. Resources. उन्हें साफ शब्दों में बताया कि हमें ही उसका रास्ता निकालना है, और मैंने उसका एक आपको सिंपल वो तरीका बताया कि हमारे पास बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स होते हैं जो स्पोर्ट्स में कवर करने होते हैं. जो अगर स्टार्ट करें तो टीम स्ट्रेटेजी, टेक्निक अलग है, फिर फिजिकल पैरामीटर्स अलग है. फिजिकल पैरामीटर्स तो हम इस तरीके से अपने ट्रेनिंग और कोचिंग.
Yeah, wonderfully spoken. I think from the heart, because you both are Shiba as well as Namashish have been players. So you speak from your heart. I speak from my brain. So let me again use my brain to clarify that the bad news so far you have been hearing actually the bad news. So I think physical education is your name. That's a good name. The good news
Sachin.
is that Sachin, okay. The good news is that Australia is totally free of this virus in the present scenario, right? China is also totally free. Similarly, in America, people are wearing masks only when they are going in the places where there are groups, for example, inside the malls. Otherwise, nobody is even wearing the masks. So it is going to happen very soon. Don't lose heart. Because as far as the junior and sub-junior and cadet level sports is concerned, we cannot take any risk, because there is one particular virus variant which is going to be very active amongst the children, and this has been shown in several countries. That is why we need to be very careful about the kids, because kids will not be able to handle this allostatic and the viral load which they are going to face in case it happens amongst the kids. And there are a lot of researches and reports that there are certain kind of viruses which are actually mutating into such a form that it is not going to affect the adults, it is going to affect only the kids. So the only thing is, let us take prevention as far as school children are concerned. You are in school, that is why I am saying. And the third thing is, as I said earlier, that the genome sequencing has actually broken down the viruses and their causes, and it is, since it affects the RNA, as I said, it will be very soon, in another 5 to 6 months, you will see that most of the genome sequences will be completed by our labs in India as well as abroad, because scientists are on it. And I can bet, I can vouch that in the next probably 6 months, it will be totally gone. It will be purely symptomatic. For example, today, even if it is an unlockdown, you must have seen that punishment will be given to only people where there is going to be a 10% spread. People 10%, if they are infected, then only there are going to be sanctions. So it is going to be the scientists, the biomedical science, plus the preventive measures by the coaches and by the athletes and also by the parents. Plus it is going to be a joint effort of the authorities to implement sanctions, especially in India. See, we cannot compare ourselves with the other countries because we are highly densely populated, but we need to be very, very serious with regard to the development of our infrastructure as well. For example, today, if your classroom situation, there are 50 kids in your classroom in your school, anyways, you cannot have 50 kids in the next at least 6 months. You will have to have 25 students, or you can call them on Mondays, the second batch on Tuesdays, and on Tuesdays they will be practicing or doing their homework at home, online classes. Similarly, in sports also, practically speaking, if we really do a good work and we put our minds together, if coaches like Shiba and intellectuals like Namashish and people like Puneet are on board, we cannot work in silos. We have to work as a group and team, devise a strategy for the school setup, and then implement it, and then keep on monitoring so that we come out with the best practice model. We have best practices all around us, even in many of the states, for example, Kerala. So that is my take. It will take time, but trial and error is the best method.
Thank you, sir.